Northwest United States. This is the Rev Report.
Well, folks, we are back here once again for your listening pleasure here on ChunkTVLive, Stream ME, and Vaughn. Yes, it's been a big cold week over here on the East Coast. If you haven't been outside, it isn't spring yet here, folks. I'm telling you, man, this weather's just not going to quit here. Definitely, I started up a new site called PrayForTrump.com. Yes, it's dedicated to Hillary in prison, too. Hillary should be in prison because of her campaign funds, her Benghazi, and a million other things that the Clinton Foundation and the Bushes have done. Here on our network, our first story is about Ted Cruz, folks. Ted Cruz is basically getting people to Ted Cruz campaign is sending out a letter to support on how to harass and steal delegates. Basically, Cruz's supporters are asking bloggers to start stalk delegates in Colorado. It says, "Dear influenced bloggers, I found a list of names, phone numbers, Colorado delegates on which a huge number of an unbound list of unreserved list phone searching." So basically what they're doing is they're posting their letters, phone numbers of these delegates, so that people that will harass the Trump delegates as well, they're harassing these people. Perhaps you followers can do the same. Attached is a list of unbound delegates for the Colorado and a list of mailing addresses. These people are basically harassing the delegates. At least harass these Ted Cruz delegates is what you need to do. We really need to get the delegates needed for Trump or for who else. Ted Cruz is a man that basically he has the same MO as Obama, where he doesn't really have a really good birth certificate, and he was born in Canada. So therefore, we're going to go through the same motions as we've been through with Obama when they conveniently closed his birth certificate record and his college, where he went to school and that kind of stuff. They've all conveniently all now being shut off to the public mainstream because the elite is trying to get more delegates to Ted Cruz so that he could win the election here in Cleveland. It says Ted Cruz supporters are truly freedom. Saturday is in Missouri. There's a Missouri one. They're coming up to New York, New Hampshire, and New England, and that area is coming up here in the next week and a half, 2 weeks, I think. Trump is going to stay in New York. I guess he's got some things to do in New York and try to win his home state. But they are trying to sham the Trump campaign as much as they can. They do not want Trump in there because Trump said that he would basically expose the New World Order and actually go after Hillary and go after anybody that's these dirty politicians that are in the House of Representatives as well. And the next story that I got here is that the Air Force Base and Lakeland Air Force Base in San Antonio, Texas, had a murder-suicide today, folks. They had 2 people shot and dead. They had a shooter on base, but they found out that it was a murder-suicide, which is odd because we've now had 2 different shootings on 2 different Texas Air Force bases. The other one was on an Army base, but obviously there's enough tension going on these Air Force bases and military bases that there's been a murder-suicide. I mean, it's terrible, folks, that there's been a murder-suicide there. So I don't know what's going on there. That's an active shooter. It's an active thing. Is that a false flag, dude? I'm really not sure. I just wanted to put that out here on the Rev Report. And then on the next one, are we going to, Chunk, are we going to the Bigfoot thing? Let's talk about the Bigfoot thing here. Because there's not much data on the other thing, but on this Bigfoot topic, this lady had, I believe it was her friend, or actually was her like her was this like she was, it was a family member that was basically a very big Bigfoot fanatic. He was a Bigfoot researcher and he was a Bigfoot investigator. And he loved Bigfoot so much that his family bought a really big Bigfoot. Like, you know, we have these on Route 60 out here. You can get these concrete Bigfoot thing. Bigfoot, they're like as tall as me, at least, and they're painted. They're painted and everything. And I'll have to tell you where the city was at here. It's not going to tell me where the city probably is. But Camden Township Garage, wherever Camden Township is, doesn't really give me, it's WKBN 27 News was talking about, well, what happened was the garage, which is basically the Camden Township city workers, moved the Bigfoot to the back area of the garage because they're basically saying that the Bigfoot was mooning other grave sites and that it was offending other people that are around this other person's grave because it was not wearing any clothes. Well, Bigfoot's hairy. So I think maybe they should just paint the Bigfoot some like pants on him or something. Maybe that would be more appropriate, apparently. I mean, they put flowers on. Look at the flowers they have on the grave. I mean, there's other people that I think it's an excellent. I think you maybe they need to just spoof them up a little bit. Maybe just put some pants on them, maybe or something. But I mean, it's a really good idea for a grave site if a guy that's a Bigfoot hunter, a Bigfoot fanatic, a Bigfoot researcher. It's fitting for his grave. I guess he died of cancer as well, and that was pretty sad. I am actually going to go to a special area in Ohio for a retreat where it's a very hot Bigfoot sightings area here coming up here in a couple weeks. Not gonna tell you the exact date because it's gonna be another Rev Report, but Bigfoot is very active. He's actually active, pretty active in the southern area right now, probably towards the Cincinnati area, in that area, because it's been so cold. They haven't migrated up to the train tracks and everything else up into this area. Yes, there is other Bigfoots that live and around this area, it's a fitting thing for this poor guy that now they've taken away his statue and they have to like get a proper pouring footer for this Bigfoot things. I'd be offering my services to go out there and put a Bigfoot thing, Bigfoot in there. And the next story is, are we going to go into talking about GLP? Is that what we're going to go in next? I think we're going to go into the GLP thing here. Fenn called me. Fenn's boss called me. GLP, Godlight Productions, is a conspiracy talk show website that, of course, is Darknet. Well, Darknet, their Trinity, a.k.a. Jason Lucas, called me on my phone. I would play it, but the message is so gargled and it's computerized. It basically told me to get off the net and not report any more information about GLP. So basically, what's going on is they said that they're going to go after my family, my friends. They told they're going to go after Chunk TV because of our last report on GLP. Basically, what GLP is trying to do is they're strong-arming me to try to get off the web. So I did go off Facebook. They wanted me off Facebook, and they wanted results. So I went off for 2 days. But then I came back with PrayForTrump.com and all my other sites. So you're not going to kill the Rev. You're not going to kill the Rev Report because GLP just can't do. GLP, now there's more information coming out about Travis Stock and how GLP gets their money. they're actually stealing bitcoins from supposed ISIS. Basically, stealing it, and they're hacking people's bitcoins accounts, and they're basically stealing money. These people, Fen, I don't know, Fen. I actually sent him a picture of Fen. Somebody actually sent me a picture of Fen and her boyfriend, which I think his name is Bob, and they've been camping out across the street, down the street from me here in Elyria. And yes, it's not a shame that I live in Elyria, and yes, everybody knows that I live in Elyria. Obviously, you see my posts on Facebook. I'm not ashamed of where I live, but unfortunately, these people, this AKA guy named Sonny Cardona. Who is Sonny Cardona? Sonny Cardona has a website called The Extreme Life Changer. It is a website, if you really want to know about the New World Order, the Illuminati, the Zeitgeist movement, the way that the Hollywood is being endorsed by evil. If you want to know about the evil of the world, you want to check out Sonny Cardona. I actually showed, Chunk has a picture of Sonny. He's standing with his friends, the guy with the beard. And that is Sonny Cardona and his crew. His crew has been after me for about a year now. Sonny found me at a group. His actual name is Sonny Alfred, I think is his exact name. He found me at a Cleveland ufology project, and he basically created the Rev Report, he says, and that he wants $50,000. He actually can show one of those things, the guy with the beard, and he's in the cloak of Jesus. Well, they've been there's Sonny's crew right there on there. The guy to the left is Sonny Cardona, and he used to be an EXS member. His crew, his cousins in the middle, and his two elite friends are on the right. The two elite have been following me. The guy in the middle works at the mobile store, and these are the group of GLP. These are some of GLP's crew that are basically supposedly following me and harassing me. Now, I have no problem if GLP wants a show on Vaughn or any network. I would be more than happy to promote their show. I really don't give a crap. They're mad because a group called Johnny Anonymous hacked their site. Well, if your site was that bad, why you're supposed to have spyware and sell spyware and promote and make yourself all these programs? You couldn't protect yourself from one guy named Johnny. So why you got to be mad at me when your live stream was on the Blog Talk Radio? Blog Talk's not a very good place to do a radio show. It's been a very good place for radio program, but Vaughn has actually taken a good spot, and Stream ME. So basically, those are good spots to actually do a show if you want to. But I don't understand why Godlike Productions is bent over heels and mad that I'm telling them a little bit of their truth of what they really do on their show and on their network is they block people. And if you talk about Travis Stock or you talk about GLP in the wrong way, they just block you and not let you, and they track your IP address. Chunk, put that picture of Fen that I showed you. This is the lady that ran the live. It was called the Live Raw Stream, and she had a show on Blog Talk. And Sonny was on that show in 2015, and they did a good show. And he was the Extreme Life Changer. Sonny used to be a member of the EXS radio team. And then he kind of got himself in trouble with, he got himself in trouble with some Jewish remarks and got us kicked off of 3 or 4 different FM affiliates that we were affiliated in North Dakota, South Dakota, Montana as well. We were syndicated in Iowa as well at the time, and we got kicked off because of it. Fen is the one lady on the left, and I believe the guy on the right may be Jason Lucas, the guy that everybody calls as Trinity. I'm not exactly sure, but I'm 80% sure from what my information is. And these two people used to run the Live Raw Stream. I think they really should bring back the Live Raw Stream onto Vaughn and speak their show, because they did have a good show, and they did talk about chemtrails. They talked about like the reptilian agenda. They talked about Sherry Snyder was on there. They talked about some really good things. I just don't understand why they're all like hard up because I said a few things about the Travis stock industry. Hey, I ain't getting any funds from anybody, but supposedly they are. Well, then they should come out on Vaughn and have a show talking about Travis stock, and actually they'll get their viewers back, is what they're saying, that I'm crunching their viewer time, and I'm crunching this and I'm crunching that, when I'm really just speaking what's been told about their site. I mean, if they want a show, it's not very easy to produce a show here on Vaughn or whatever. So, then go out there and get off your butt and quit trolling me and get your show back online. It's no big deal. You want to get the truth out. You guys have a great website of a bunch of conspiracy nuts that talk about conspiracy things all day long, and they're like before news, but they track your IP address. And yeah, who cares? Get your show. I mean, I got my show here on live, ChunkTVLive. Yes, you're viewing ChunkTVLive, and really get yourself guys back online. I mean, Trinity and everything. You can call me all you want. I really don't care. If you want to shoot me, kill me, murder me, kidnap me, whatever, I really don't care. I really think that if you got a problem with somebody that hacked your shit, that would be Johnny. And Johnny's the mask. And you promote the mask on your site, folks. You'll promote the mask. So it doesn't really matter. It's the black hats. They're throwing this information your way and tweaking they're trying to get all of us, all these truth movement, fighting each other, so you won't actually go out and do the truth that really needs to be done on the streets of America today, because America is being shamed. It's being liberalized to the point where we're being boiled in ice, right, folks? Boiled in ice. It's terrible that a lot of the liberal regime is doing that. Really need to get back to the zeitgeist movement, which is a better thing. But like taxes, I mean, can you really get yourself out of the Social Security tax? I mean, obviously, when the younger people that are in 20 are probably not going to see it. So Chunk was talking about how he wanted to basically not go into that. I kind of agree on some of that, because really, taxes, where are our money going? The troops are only getting 5% of the money that's out of the budget for armor and supplies and survival supplies and that kind of deal. We really need to fund the troops in a better way. We need to bring the troops back home, would be a better idea, and put them on the border. And basically, we have this problem with the drugs, right? We have a lot of marijuana, a lot of cocaine, a lot of heroin. You basically legalize it for medical use across the board. Okay, so that will cut half their cost, half their money that the drug lords are making in Mexico. Half their money would be gone there if it was all legalized medically. Legalized. So if you're hooked on heroin, they would actually give you the right dose of heroin, not with fentanyl, and get you off of heroin. If you're hooked on coke, they could give you a supply and then slowly get you off cocaine, or get you on a program if you'd like to stop. Or, I mean, if the doctor says keep doing it, fine. But we need a better, different way of war on drugs, folks, because the war on drugs that we are spending billions on a fight that's not winning. We need to do a different a mindset on the whole drug war, and basically take the money out of the drug lords down there in Mexico, take the work that's going into Mexico, and need to bring it back here into the United States of Ohio, and in Maine, and Portland, and Oregon, and Washington, all these places that need jobs, and get people some work. Bring the like $12 an hour, to do some of these jobs. Get the money up a little bit higher. Get some people to basically, get some bigger companies to come back to the States and start making our own stuff, is what we need to do. Should we do the segment for the Drunk Award of the Week? Oh boy, this is a good one, folks. Oh boy. Okay, this is the Chunk Drunk Tank. A man on West Bagley Road, which is in Olmsted Falls, a North Olmsted man, 58, was banned from Burger King on West Bagley Road for allegedly harassing the restaurant staff. Burger King managers told the police on April 1st that for 8 months the man has attempted to securely to attempt to secure free food, repeatedly claims the restaurant botched his order. He also paid in pennies at least 5 occasional times at Burger King Corporation's office to complain about his particular management of workers. The restaurant management told the man he was banned from the Bagley Road Burger King for life. Then he got basically pissed off, came up there drunk one night and ran his car into basically the Burger King sign where you order your food. He ran his car into it and then ran away. They did arrest him for criminal trespass and the destruction of property. So, and gave him obviously a DUI because this man has been doing this. So now Burger King is going to be putting charges on this poor man. Yes, folks, that's another drunk move that happens in Drunk Chunk TV. Basically, if you're drunk and you need food, go to Taco Bell. Another breaking news here today, here on Breaking News, there was a couple people coming over the Main Avenue Bridge and saw a T3 type UFO, which is an unmanned reconnaissance vehicle that has 0-point energy, where basically it can hover, it can move in a very like 3,000 miles an hour, I think is its top speed. And it was actually doing some reconnaissance over the valley area. We're having more and more UFO encounters in the last couple days because we're having the RNC convention, the Cleveland RNC convention. The cops, the Cleveland GOP, the Cleveland police are trying to get armor, riot gear, and trying to get the cops fitted. And they said that they don't have enough money to get this riot gear, so they might not be totally prepared. I've been to like the down when they have the playoff for LeBron James and different big events for the NBA, and it's like Black Ops City when they do a thing down there, an event down in Cleveland. They have towers and like mounted police. They have like motorcycle people, cops on motorcycle. They have cops on segways. They have cops on foot. They have cops like all around that area where this around the queue where they're going to have this convention. We're going to have a contested convention, probably. So this is going to bring in the different anonymous groups. We're going to have the different freedom fighter groups. We're going to have the third party group there as well. We're going to have a lot of Alex Jones people here. Going to be, there you go, the riot gear. This is what they're going to do. There's going to basically be an all-out protesting war of the different sanctions here in Cleveland, which it sounds like. Will it become violent? It never really ever gets very violent here in Cleveland. We have been so contested with sports teams and sadness, we don't really get too violent. But there might be some pushing and some shoving, and Black Lives Matters might get into a lot of wars with the Trump supporters. They kind of, they're telling that the Trump supporters are evil, and we're the ones that are gonna start this contested convention. We're gonna start this fight, this war and stuff. Well, we're really not. The Cleveland Police Department is ready for this. They are redoing Public Square. They're put I think it was $23 million or something downtown in improvements. Public Square was like this area by the Tower City complex that basically was an area where all the buses were. So they redid it all where the Soldiers and Sailors Mountain. That's where I think a lot of protesters are going to be hanging out and camping out down there at that area. That's where they're redoing it. And there's going to be, I know of 100 cameras in that area. So it's going to be highly videotaped and watched. There's going to be cameras all over the surveillance. That's why you're seeing these T3s, T4 UFOs. Surveillance of this, when the GOP and the convention here in Cleveland in July is going to be heavily watched by all armed, the NSA, CIA type groups for different reasons. Will they take out Donald Trump at our location? It could happen. I mean, it could happen, but this is one of the oldest areas with alien life. The Hopi said that the first alien UFOs have, came out of the lake way back before Egypt time. So they believe that this is now coming to pass. The Trump campaign, the trumpets. If you talk about the trumpets in the Bible, it's kind of weird that Donald Trump is named Trump, and they talk about the trumpet. So Donald Trump, I believe, is actually speaking the words that they talk about in the Bible and Revelations about the trumpets will be heard. And he is the one telling us what's really going on. I mean, will we get to the end of times and stuff like that? That possibly could happen in some time, but I think it's going to be modified a bit. We're definitely going to have a down to the wire election this year. We're definitely going to have Kasich, who is basically was that George Soros? Chunk doesn't like George, so I don't either. I think this guy is a moron. And then what was that other guy that we talked about that's like 90 years old? Henry Kissinger. That guy should just die any day now. Would be great for us. He's another high Bible Bilderberg, New World Order, Grail. What society? He's no good. These top guys that are in these banks, these Chase Manhattans and these banks are like basically running the show. And they haven't pulled the plug on a few things, but I think that we're going to definitely see a very active July here in July with all kinds of different protests, UFO reports. UFOs, I guarantee you, will be out, going on. We're going to have, the Cavs possibly in the playoffs. This is going to be a very active time for the Rev Report to do reports on the street. I'll be out on the street. I'll be in the convention. I will be doing some reporting on all the aspects of that convention. And yes, folks, we are going to possibly have a movie report maybe next week here. It might be on all kinds of different movies, but maybe some Trailer Park Boys, or we have a special guest that will be doing that special guest. And welcome Jim AXS in the room. And we're definitely going to have a movie. We're going to actually bring in different people here pretty soon, maybe in a couple weeks, so that we can mix it together and everything. And basically, that is the end of my report today for 4/8/2016. Hope you guys stay warm tonight because it's a cold one. Thank you. It's the midnight special.
From an undisclosed cornfield in the Midwest United States, this is the Rev Report.
Is it good? All right, I'm going to close off of Skype.